Hey you beautiful people, Kai here. In today's video, we're talking about the absolute basics you must understand and master if you're looking at beginning to invest or putting money into real estate, stocks, or even starting your own business. Now, these are things that even veteran investors must understand, and they probably do, hopefully. But we're going to talk all about that today. Now, if you're watching this right now, you're probably one of the 80 to 85% who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet. If you're at all interested in seeing how I make money and how you could potentially make money through real estate, investing in stocks, and just being really sound with your money, then consider subscribing to the channel right down below. And for all of you guys out there who've watched my channel before, help me out with the YouTube algorithm and hit that like button. Thank you. So today's video is going to be super fast. I'm going to put a 5-minute timestamp right down here, and let's see if we can get it done in 5 minutes or less. Let's do it. So the basics of investing, as we all know out there already, is that you try to take $1 and try to turn it into $2. You take $2 and try to turn it into $4. Now, before we even do that, we have to understand what we're trying to do. Now, when it comes to making money, whether it's in real estate, stocks, or starting your own business, you have to understand your customer. Now, in real estate, it's very clean and clear because you're obviously trying to increase the value of that home or that piece of land, that property, whatever it is, whether it's through tenants, guests, or even a buyer. So that's pretty straightforward. You have to understand the mind of the buyer. And in real estate, this helps dictate what you put inside the home, what you do to the land, or how you decorate it. Now, when it comes to investing in stocks, it becomes a little bit more unclear. Now we have to start thinking about the company, and we think about the company's customers. Because if you're going to invest in, say, like a company that's really hot right now, like Tesla, is that you have to think about who the customer base is for Tesla and how they support Tesla with their monies. And that's really important because if you just look at the company itself, you're losing a lot of the noise to media, to financials, the numbers, the market, and everything else. What we have to really focus in is on the customer. And then obviously when you're starting your own business, it's extremely clear. The number one question you always ask yourself first is who is the customer, and you build your business from there. Which leads us into the second thing, unit economics. Unit economics is the absolute fundamental and basics of the financials of any business, any investment. This can typically be done in a restaurant, well, not now, but on the back of an envelope or on a napkin. Now, number 3 is a little bit more of that woo-woo part of business, is how do you create value? No, seriously, like what are you giving to others, society, the community, your customers, that they want to pay you more than you paid for it or your initial investment? And if you can't answer that question, or you don't have a good answer to that question, you probably don't have a good investment. And if you're watching my real estate videos, you know that's exactly what I'm asking myself when I'm looking for land, or I'm building on a piece of property, or I'm decorating a new home, is I'm thinking about who is the customer and what's the value that I'm giving them. Is it an experience? Is it a location? Is it ease of access? What exactly do I want to hit? And how am I going to value that? All right, I think we're still on time. We only got 2 more. The fourth one that I see a lot of people stumble, both as beginners and veteran investors, sometimes myself too, is getting your investment back. And that's why you see guys like Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank. He always puts things out as a loan, and then he collects royalties. And the reason why he puts it out as a loan is that he wants that principal, that initial investment back as soon as possible, so then he can go out and put it in something else. A lot of times what happens when we jump into investments is that we spend so much time thinking about potential returns. What could happen in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years? We need to get that principal back first. And fast if you can help it. Because once you get that principal back, you can send it back out and start making you more money. And then everything else is just gravy on top. And that's how the rich get richer. They don't lose their principal investment. And number 5 is probably a term that you've heard a lot from other investors, maybe in the media, on news, maybe in math classes, ROI, return on investment. But I don't really like ROI. Most investments take a number of years to really come to fruit and really get paid off. And you really need something a little bit better than just ROI. Because ROI is a very basic formula which takes how much your final investment is worth minus how much you paid for it divided by the total that you paid for the investment. And then typically the higher that number, the better your ROI is. But what we really want to understand is net present value. This takes into account time, which is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to investing, because I could ask you, do you want $1 million tomorrow, or do you want $1 million 20 years from now? That time makes a big difference, right? We have to use that to be able to calculate into our returns to help us make decisions on what is the best opportunity and where we should be funneling our money. Okay, did we do it? Do we hit that 5-minute mark? I'm not sure because I'm filming this right now and I haven't edited it yet, so we'll see, but hopefully we did. So those are the 5 basics that I learned through my MBA program. I learned my experience in business, and I definitely learned it both the hard way and the easy way, investing in real estate and stock market and starting my own businesses. Now, if you're interested in learning more, I've got a bunch of emails and DMs asking for this, is that I'm now starting to open up a couple of time slots where I can help consult you through your real estate project or your build project. And if this is something that interests you, send me the email in the description down below, and we can set up a time, typically an hour to an hour and a half. We're gonna help guide and consult you through the process. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.